All right, welcome back to the Deep Dig of Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew, with my other host.
What's up? It's D.
Yeah, and I just want to apologize right off the bat if my audio isn't what it usually is. I am traveling right now. I'm in Vegas, hitting New York next week to check on Zach Wilson, but we just got to make do what we got. We got a podcast wherever we're at.
I'm glad you're not taking mom with you.
I'm not going to go on vacation with my mom?
Yeah, well, Zach Wilson's there, bro. He's on the prowl.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm keeping her far away from that situation. I don't know how well his game is on one leg, but I can't take the chance. I can't risk it.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, let's just dig right into this. Trey Lance, the 49ers, played their first preseason game. Trey Lance played a couple series, and man, I'm feeling really good at what I saw. What did you think?
Football is back, baby. Even though it's preseason, you still get a little bit of juice, and then you start to run out towards that like third, fourth quarter-ish. But loved it. Loved that they rolled him out. They said that they were only going to play him 10 plays. And Greg Papa was like, I don't know if they're going to roll him out for another series. I'm glad that they did. So the first series looked good. I was pretty happy with it. I thought they moved the ball down the field really well. I was really happy with everything I was seeing from Trey. He was looking down the field before he would scramble. He even slid, which was nice. Protect yourself, young guy. And then the second series, he rolls out there. You want to see him on 3rd and long. They get him in 3rd and 9, and he drops that dime to Danny Gray, and Danny Gray takes it yard. I'm pumped about it. My juices is flowing. How about you?
Yeah, man. I think we saw everything, every facet of his game that we wanted to see. We saw him stay in the pocket. We saw him run out of the pocket, but he did it in a way to where he hesitated, looked downfield, and then it was the last option for him to take off running. And then he slid, which was great. We want to see that every time. He did a play action rollout, hit a couple of those, and he hit that bomb. So, I mean, every facet that we want to see him improve at, I think he looked amazing. And not just him, like the O-line protecting him around and giving him that pocket, it really helped him out.
Dude, Brendel is Brendel.
We'll get
whatever his name is. The center, he was out there mauling people along with Spencer Burford. They look good, dude. I'm pretty excited to see them on the field with Trent Williams. But yeah, Trey was looking good. There was a little inconsistencies, and it's kind of what you're expecting with a guy who throws nothing but heaters, is on the edges. So he had a little bit of an overthrow for Danny Gray, where he wasn't able to catch it on the sidelines. And then there was an overthrow to, I believe, Dwelly, which both ended up hitting them on the hand. So it wasn't too much of an overthrow, but you just gotta rope it in. You gotta learn how to, throw a softball every once in a while, throw a curve in there.
Yeah. And I think that's just going to come with timing. I think the Ross Dwelly one was a little bit of overthrow. I think he needs to take a little bit of heat off that fastball, because that one was a laser and he throws really flat. So it's not kind of falling right into their lap. It's just like, you got to get it with your hands. The throw to Danny Gray on 3rd down, I think it was just a timing issue more than an overthrow. He got there a little bit late, Trey did, with the ball.
Yeah.
And so he just didn't give Danny Gray enough sideline to make the play. I mean, he obviously made a great catch still, and it was out of bounds. So I think Trey gives that a step sooner. I think that's a completion 1st down. I mean, he's putting it basically in the right spot, and it's just a step too late, a foot too far. And I think he's going to clean that up as the season goes on.
Yeah, it was nothing super egregious. And you'd expect that from a young guy. I think I've seen enough of Trey Lance. I think we sit him. We don't want a Zach Wilson situation where you're just going out there in meaningless minutes and get yourself hurt. So I'm ready to call it. Let's go ahead and just roll out Brock Purdy. Let's roll out Nate Sudfeld. If we need to call in another camp arm, let's go ahead and do that. But I think we should be a set. I've seen everything, and honestly, I feel good about it. I feel good moving into the season.
And so, like, what are your takeaways from like all the criticism of Trey leading up to this game, and then seeing him go out there and perform like that? Like, what's not adding up with these conflicting like viewpoints, or like what is Trey showing now that he hasn't shown in practice?
I just think it's different in game. When you're against like live bullets, it's different than you going against your own team, because you're specifically honing in on the things that you're not good at in practice because you're trying to improve. Whereas in the game, look at, he was able to run and scramble and get out of the pocket and do all these different things that he's naturally just gifted with. And so I think that's the difference. Whereas in practice, you're trying to sit there and improve on things that you're not good at. So, you know, and that's what it's for. It's there for you to struggle and get better.
Yeah, man, I think he's ready. I think we've seen enough from him also that he doesn't need to play. If anything, I would like to see him maybe one series in the third preseason game like they planned. But other than that, I think we rest him. We don't want to see him run and get hurt when a backup lineman is playing. Actually, I'm glad like that play where Trey Lance got sacked, the D lineman, I think, let up. I think he could have really hit Trey Lance if there was a regular season game, but he kind of like ran past him.
And Trey threw his leg back too, knowing he wasn't gonna try to stand there and like take the hit. He didn't throw his leg back. And at first I was like, oh shit. Cause it looked pretty awkward. I don't know if you've seen like him like whip it. You know that meme where he's like, and then he threw his legs to the side.
Yeah.
But he like whipped his leg back and just took the fall. And so I think that's good instinct.
That D lineman came free. I think that D lineman could have put a hit on him, but kind of sidestepped him, not wanting to like really put a hit on a quarterback. And then they kind of just went down. So I'm glad that D lineman didn't unload on him because he had a free shot. So I don't want to see that happen and someone not let up and just get a Jalen Hurts situation. Did you see that sideline
that
run?
Was bullshit. Yeah. That was crazy. Did you see Sirianni yelling at Saleh?
Yeah.
He was fucking pissed, dude. Rightfully so. Like, again, you don't want to see these young guys out there getting hurt, especially your franchise quarterback. So, like, I understand. I'd feel the exact same way if Trey was going to hit the sideline and someone just smashed him out of nowhere. That's pretty ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, man. And now time's going to tell, like, now that Trey has definitely solidified himself with this team as the starter and the leader, I mean, maybe one of these other spots are opening up for Jimmy G. The Browns situation with Deshaun Watson maybe getting more suspension, and he's also looking complete ass on the field.
Did you hear the Jag fans, their chant? You sick fuck. Bro, and I was saying, like, that is one of the worst fan bases because their franchise has been so fucking horrible and it was an exhibition game. Just wait until you get like division rivals and games that matter. When this guy hits the field, it's going to be chaos, dude.
Yeah. Well, that situation is unfolding. And now the Jets might need a quarterback, and I don't think they want to roll with Mike White all year and potentially lose their coaching jobs. So maybe Jimmy
I was actually
could go there.
So with Zach Wilson, I just seen a couple hours ago that he avoided ACL tear. He tore his meniscus and he's going to be out. They're expecting 2 to 4 weeks, hopefully. So we'll see. I think that kind of takes them out of the Jimmy running. But
if there's still a tear in the knee like that, do you really want to rush him back in a month for a team that's not really competing? I mean, I would just play it really slow with this guy. I'm not saying they want to trade for Jimmy just to have him play half a season, but even so, I wouldn't rush this guy back that fast.
That's true. But yeah, things are opening up for Jimmy. I think that as we go throughout camp, I think there's going to be a little bit more interest. And I think that the Wilson injury is going to wake up people and be like, all right, well, you know, this could happen. We could need a backup quarterback, you know?
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to another thing that stood out for me in that preseason game. The wide receivers, man. I just want to say off the bat, I stand corrected on Ray McLeod. Last week, I kind of said I don't believe in him. I didn't shit on him.
Ray, I believe in you.
Check the tape.
Fuck Drew.
Run back the tape. Run back the tape.
He shit on you, bro. I was like, yo, stand strong with Ray Ray. But yeah, go ahead.
Nah, I just said I didn't really fully believe in him as a receiver on the field. And after watching that game, man, this guy, he can do a lot more than I thought. Just watching him in that limited role, he's going deep. He's running some little bubbles. He's running some quick outs, run slants. I like what I saw from him. I thought he looked like a really solid receiver. And
He did have a fumble.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, he
But
looks good, dude. His routes are crisp. He shook that dude out of his shoes, man. I felt bad for the kid, but yeah, it was nice. Sudfeld got a good looking touchdown there.
yeah, that the route he ran and the timing of his cut was amazing.
Oh, perfect. Turned him
And
all the way around like a top, bro.
and other than Trey Lance, I think the real star of the game, Danny Gray. Man, he
Ugh,
he is fast in the 40 and he is fast on field speed. There's no difference in it. This guy can fucking fly.
dude, it was crazy how quick his game speed is. Like I think we got something there. I think we've got to watch out. Juwan Jennings, it was like looking like the solidified number 3, but with the way Danny Gray's coming on, I think he might slip into that spot, dude. It's looking nice, especially his chemistry.
As I was watching the game, me and my buddy were like looking at each other and we're like, dude, I think Danny Gray's the third receiver on this team. Like he just has the talent. He can do it all. I see him doing everything that Juwan Jennings can do, but with more speed. And that's dangerous. I think he could run the route tree. I think he can do a lot of stuff on the outside near the sideline. And then if you just get him in the perfect matchup, like Trey immediately saw that matchup when they got pre-snap.
Yeah.
And he knew.
I'm going here.
Yeah, he knew immediately. So that's just, I wouldn't want to take that off the field ever.
Yeah, I would want to keep that. Maybe in like third down or like red zone situations, I really like Juwan Jennings there. I think he has everything that you need as far as like getting tugs and getting those like hard yards. But Danny Gray is just going to be so dynamic, dude. I think it's going to be tough. Like now we're getting to the point where it's too stacked, where we have Debo, we have Ayuk, we have Danny Gray, we have Ray, we have Juwan Jennings. Like all these guys are going to want to hit the field and we're going to want them to hit the field. Now it's like, who's going to eat? You know what I mean? And then Kittle too, on top of that. Dwelly's no joke either. So I'm pumped, dude. I think the run game is going to open up the pass game. The pass game is going to go hand in hand with this. Did you see that little rollout, that play after the, all right, we're going to run this power. Then we're going to, hold it, play action. Oh man, I'm pumped, dude. It's going to be.
I'm feeling so good about Danny Gray. And I turned to my friend too, and I was like, can you believe we're going to have Danny Gray for the next 4 years? Like at least, because this kid looks like he's going to be something special. I mean, if we for the next 4 years have Danny Gray, Debo, and Ayuk just stick together, that's going to be a pretty solid receiving core right there. I'm feeling amazing about that.
Oh, it's going to be so nice, dude. And on the other side, Romeo Doubs looks real AF, dude.
Oh, he's a player. He's a baller.
Rodgers has been talking this guy up the entire camp, and I see why. He burned the defense of the 49ers twice on that play or on that series, and ended up scoring a touchdown fairly easily. So he looks good, man.
Someone to look out for in fantasy.
Yeah. But yeah, our team's looking stacked.
Also look up not us, but listener, look up the over-under for that guy's touchdowns number this year. I think you'd want to hit the over.
Yeah, especially because Rodgers will just force feed people. Like we've seen it with Devontae, we've seen it with Jordy. If this guy becomes his favorite, yeah, he's gonna
for like 3/4 of the game. I don't think Jordan Love threw it to anyone else other than that guy.
Yeah.
So he literally force fed him the whole game.
Because he has fucking me. He has Romeo Doubs, me, you, and like Airbud on the bench, bro. Like their receiving core is ass.
I can't name one other receiver that was out there other than Dobbs.
No.
I thought fucking Jordy Nelson was out there for a second.
It was looking pretty scarce.
Also, whatever happened to Jordy Nelson? He
He
is
just
that like
retired.
the fat? Is that
He
the
went to the
fastest someone's
Raiders.
went from a number one receiver to out of the league?
He went to the Raiders. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, it is what it is.
Anyone here from Jordy Nelson? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what he's doing. All right, so let's move on to the other side of the ball, the defensive side. You want to talk D line or you want to talk secondary?
Bro, we could even talk linebackers. The linebackers, Orrin Burks and Finnegan's Fowl would start on like 15 other teams, dude. They were all over the field. It was especially Orrin Burks. He looked nice.
He was flying all over the field, man.
It was, I think our the team that we rolled out there for this game would be at least a top 15 defense in the league.
Yeah, and who was the guy that got the interception with like three names?
With three names. Marcelino. Oh man, it's
Marcelino something something. That guy, man, that apparently that guy is making some noise in camp, and he had an amazing play on that tip interception. I think this just
Marcelino McCrary Ball.
Yes,
some respect
that guy.
on his name.
Yeah, sorry about that, Marcelino. Fully respecting your game because you balled out there. Orrin Burks is all over the field, man. And then you look at other guys like Teray. That guy's making plays. And then you go to Kerry Hyder Jr. Oh man, I'm so glad we brought him back because that guy can put up 7-8 sacks this year just off the bench. Just off the bench.
It's our defense is looking nice. The depth that we have. Did you see? Oh my God, that Hufanga hit! Oh man, lit them up.
Hufanga looks like he's bringing some fucking heat this year. He's throwing himself all around.
I'm telling you, when we seen him last week in practice, he just was exuding confidence. You couldn't tell me that guy doesn't think like I'm better than 90% of the safeties in the league, and I'm gonna show it. And it's like, damn, I'm starting to believe it. Like, let's go.
And something that I noticed that was like part of Ufanga's scouting report is like he's not the fastest guy. He's not like an amazing coverage guy, but I didn't see him get beat out there. So that was promising. I didn't see him get burnt or really break coverage.
Yeah, I would like to see him against, again, a better receiving core. Because, again, it's me and you rolling out there, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm feeling pretty good about it. Even though we've seen him in limited, like, rover spots, like, in the past, I'm excited for him to take this step forward. And I think it opens up the defense and allows us to have a little bit more versatility.
Yeah, man. I mean, if we're just talking overall defense, we're not really focusing. I think there's pluses all over this field. There was a lot of standouts in this game, and there was a lot of pieces where I'm feeling like the depth we have going into the season, we can rotate every single level of the defense and keep them fresh. And I think all of them are starter quality players.
I mean, obviously there was a couple of standouts. Who were your standouts?
I mean, obviously you got to go Sam Womack. That kid, he has some dog in him. He's a ball hawk. I mean, I don't think
I'm going to stop you there. Let's talk about Sam Womack, dude.
Okay.
Well, he had some fucking awesome plays. I think the first pick, which was like a rip and just like straight ball skills to understand where you're at and have the body control to, stay in bounds and roll with it. I think that was awesome. And then the other pick where he just undercut the receiver and just used his speed. Dude, this guy has some serious playing skills.
That I think for me, he solidified himself at the nickel because I saw Darqueze Dennard really get a little bit lost on a couple plays in zone. And I don't know, he wasn't flying around the ball enough for me. I don't think he has the speed anymore. I really like him, but if you're comparing the two, obviously Sam Womack looks way better. There was a play where the tight end leaks out to the flats and Darqueze is in that zone, but he just backs up about 5 yards, kind of trying to cover the corner route, which is too deep for him to cover. And he just gives up a free 8-10 yards. So I mean, I feel like he was playing it a little too safe for me in the nickel spot. I really want a nickel to be aggressive and be up on the player that they're covering.
Yeah, and I get that. And I think too, it's difficult to say what the assignment was. Maybe he played that assignment perfectly, and the defense is allowed to like give that soft cushion and like, hey, if we give up 5 yards, it's cool. But yeah, like what we've seen from Womack, I'm excited. Let's roll out the kid. Let's have him just grow into it. And if like, hey, if there's mistakes, there's mistakes. Like that's cool. Again, it's a young guy, but I think we have key players at all levels to make up for that.
Yeah, man. And just going on about the standouts that I had. So definitely Sam Womack, Teray looked great. Warren Burks. And I'm actually going to throw a shout out to my guy, Robert Nkemdiche. He looked pretty solid out there. He looks big, fast. Did you see that play where he just timed it perfect and hit the running back right as he got the ball? That was a highlight play for me. Really hoping my guy Robert makes the squad.
I'm pretty sure with like, he's a first round talent with this play. If he just keeps it up, he's going to have a spot in the rotation. But we'll see. But my guy, Drake Jackson, he's looking nice. What are your thoughts on his game?
Oh man, he has speed, athleticism. He can turn the corner. He can chase down quarterbacks. This guy, I think he has a lot going for him in the specific position we want him in, which is like everything for this guy who played at a position at USC.
Dude, and he was so athletic on the field. When you seen him up against the competition, it was do you remember that rollout play that Jordan Love had where he tried to stop and like, shake him, and Drake Jackson just sat and then extended, and you seen those long arms and he just batted that ball. It was awesome, dude. I think that he's going to be perfect outside of Bosa with Eric Armstead on the inside. Hopefully Javon Kinlaw, we have an extended run from him, but I'm so excited for this D line. I think we're going to have just a murderer's row, no matter who we rotate in there.
All right. And really quick, let's try not to like hype the team up too much. What were some negatives? Who were some negatives you saw out there?
I won't say who are some negatives. I think that plays like this where Romeo Doubs is wide open and catches that, like we've seen that before. And I don't know, again, who blew the coverage or if it's just like, hey, we timed an all-out blitz and we just didn't get there. But we've seen that multiple times from this defense. And it is like, fuck, it's all right. Even though it's preseason, it's another notch on the belt. But yeah, I think that is something that is, we just got to shape it up. We got to tighten it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have just a few really negatives that stood out for me, but I don't think it'll hurt the team in the regular season. Like obviously the kid Holland who played that corner spot. Yeah, the kid just got roasted all game. I mean, I guess you got to throw someone out there and to eat the minutes to play as many plays as possible so the starters don't go out there. And he was just the guy that got targeted. And I mean, obviously he wasn't in a position to cover Dobbs, man. Like he wasn't ready for that guy.
Yeah.
And so that's just a guy that really struggled. Obviously Tavarius Moore struggled to keep up with Dobbs as well. He got beat on that play. It was just zero coverage, 1-on-1.
I think Dobbs just might be good, bro. Maybe he's just good.
But you gotta press that guy. You gotta jam him at the line. He just let him release. Yeah. And you're not gonna keep up with that guy. So I didn't like that from Moore. Other than that, man, I think
I got one. When are we gonna see like a solid game from Trey Sermon?
I was just about to say.
Oh man,
I knew that's where you're going.
When are we gonna have that? Like this guy was a second round pick, and we were expecting I was expecting him to just eat. Like let's go, like early Zeke eat. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, and we just haven't seen it equal up on the field yet.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like I think I heard some reports of like Trey Sermon looking good in practice. And I think even Haberman and Middlecoff were saying that he was coming up and looking good, but I haven't seen that. And especially after today's game, I didn't see that at all. Like, I think this is a guy that played most of the game because they don't see him as someone who's going to be a really staple of this offense. I think, I don't know, from my perspective, if it was me coaching this team, this guy would be trying to earn a roster spot at this point, not just trying to earn a spot in the rotation. I don't even think I would put him over Jeff Wilson, Elijah Mitchell, or the rookie. So I'm really like, is he going to make this team, or is he just making it based off draft position?
Yeah. Man, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Who else struggled? Someone that didn't pop off to me was like, maybe I just didn't notice. Aaron Banks, maybe because I was really centered in and I thought that Brendel and Burford were just good, just like mauling people, that I just didn't really notice him. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know if he was one of the ones. No, he didn't give up a sack, but yeah, I just was expecting him because he's such like in Notre Dame, it was a big power offense where you expect him to get on the field and just like Trent Williams that shit. And no one can beat Trent Williams besides Trent Williams, but you're expecting flashes from this guy. And I just didn't notice him. Yeah,
one last guy for me, not necessarily anything bad, but nothing good, is I talked last week about Diamondor Lenore just not popping for me, just not standing out, not necessarily looking terrible, but not looking good. And same thing in this game. After Holland went out, after getting beat a couple times, Lenore came in. And I mean, I guess it's good that we didn't really see much from him because he's not getting beat, but he's not necessarily making any great plays or solid plays. He's just a guy that fades into the crowd for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I need to like go back and break down him specifically, but as someone who was a third round pick on the team and had the potential to jump up to a lot of play time, this is just a guy that I think keeps falling back into the fold for me. And same thing with Ambry Thomas. He was out there a lot, and I don't think they attacked his side really. They just focused on the other end. I didn't see him do much.
He had one good PBU, but he ended up getting flagged for, I think it was something, but they didn't flag him necessarily for pass interference. I think it was the contact before pass interference. But yeah, he had like one PBU that looked pretty good. But I think even him, he's a notch above Diamondor Lenore.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, they're not playing terrible, but this is the time where I would like these guys to be making plays, because the second Verrett comes back, now I'm thinking, okay, we got Chavarius Ward, we got E-Man, we got Verrett, and then we have Sam Womack. Is Ambry Thomas and Diamondor Lenore 5th and 6th corners on this team? It could be that way. So now I just wanted them to like stand out more and really go for it. And it's looking like Verrett's going to be taking a good spot on the depth chart over them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. I think that's all we got for today. Our time's running out on the little ticker here,
but football is back. It's I'm juiced. I don't think don't play Trey Lance the second and third game. I'd be cool with just watching Brock Purdy and Nate Sudfeld, but you know, it's back. It feels good.
And Trevon Diggs, Sam Womack's coming for you, bro. He's coming for that interception title. Defense player of the year, defense rookie of the year. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, any, Stitcher, any podcast platform. We will be on there. If you're listening to us on audio, go to the YouTube, hit that like button, hit subscribe. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
For sure.
Link in the description. See you guys.
Later.